Good day, class. Today we're going to discuss another section in a campus paper or newspaper. This time we will be having column writing. Unlike straight news that simply tells us the facts, a column allows us writer to share personal views, opinions, or even yung mga witty observations natin about different issues. Think of it as a part of the newspaper where a writer speaks directly to the readers, almost like having a personal conversation. Since alam natin na ang column writing has something to do with our opinion as well, sharing our opinion, para lang talaga tayong nakikipag-usap sa ating reader. So, column writing is one of the most recognizable sections in newspapers and magazines kasi it shows the personality of the writer. Ano po? A columnist doesn't just inform, they also interpret, they give comments, and even persuade their readers. For example, kapag political columns, as a columnist, you may analyze the government actions. Kapag lifestyle column, you may share advice or experiences sa iyong readers. And kapag humor naman, you may entertain. So what makes columns stand out is the voice of the writer. So, this time, allow me to share the learning objectives of our discussion. The first one, we have here define editorial column. So, here you're going to understand what makes it different from news or other sections. Aside from that, identify the characteristics of a columnist or column writer and determine the styles of writing various editorial columns and also apply the styles in writing correct editorial columns. So with no further ado, let's start our discussion. So this time, let us define first what column is. So, columns are articles written regularly in a newspaper by a writer known as columnist. Kindly take note po, ang tawag po sa writer ng column ay columnist. A column bears permanent title or head. Generally, columns contain themes or topics ranging from light to serious or from most trivial to the heavily significant. The publication entrusts column writing to the most trusted and skillful columnists whose use of language is less formal and is catered to specific readers. Allow me to read the other definition of column. Columns are vital in a newspaper because they aim at explaining, interpreting, and evaluating current issues that affects our society as well as the members. Through columns po, yung mga issues are able na ma-reach ang public. Alam natin yung mga issues, that is because there is a presence of column. And aside from that, it can also influence the public opinion and beliefs on certain convictions or on certain issues. So a column po may always comes with a headline, unlike regular news, headlines that are straightforward. Ang column headlines are often creative, witty, and aside from that, thought-provoking. Yun po ang sa column. Now, let's go back sa ating definition of column. So, it is a regular article po written by the same writer and ang tawag nga po natin sa writer ng column ay columnist that appears in the same section or space of newspaper or magazine. So the main difference from news is that a column reflects the writer's personal perspective, insight, or point of view about a particular issue. So ang headline po in column writing are powerful because they serve as the first hook. For example, a political column may use, let's say, wordplay or pun to draw attention, while yung mga lifestyle column naman may use humor or relatability. So, ang headlines po are not just informative but also reflective of the columnist style. Ang column then itself is defined as a recurring piece in a publication. So, usually, it has a consistent format po. May consistent na tema and also topic area. Commonly, yung mga topics under ng ating column ay may kinalaman sa politics, lifestyle, entertainment, humor, and of course, advices. So unlike news reports po which are objective and impersonal, si columns mix facts with the writer's own analysis or viewpoint. Kaya slightly subjective si column. So this makes them more conversational and engaging, often influencing the public opinion as well. So this time, let us discuss the different characteristics or qualities of a good columnist. To be an effective columnist po, you need more than just writing skills. You must have fairness and of course a wide knowledge base. Aside from that, dapat logical thinking din, keen observer ka, creative, and of course responsible. So these qualities ensure that readers trust what you write, and aside from that, enjoy your unique perspective or point of view about certain thing. So, I will be discussing the following key characteristics of a columnist. Let's start with sense of fairness. A columnist must possess a sense of judgment spared from biases. He must maintain his impartiality and objectivity. He must detach himself from his personal subjectivity and affiliation when criticizing or interpreting an issue. When presenting the issue, his primordial objective is to expose the truth. In exposing the truth, he must see to it that all sides and all points of views are presented and that all angles and perspectives must have been explored. From the word itself, sense of fairness, fair, and we all know that fair means being patas. Ano po? So dito, as a columnist, wala ka dapat bias or wala ka dapat favorite. Dapat balanse ang lahat ng detalye na iyong iprepresent. So, even though a column shows opinions, a columnist must avoid unfair bias. So, readers should feel that arguments are balanced and, of course, credible. Ano po? Aside from that, we also have resourcefulness. When we say resourcefulness, columns are opinions that are explainable by facts. Most of the facts are difficult and tedious to avail. A columnist must therefore be resourceful. A resourceful columnist will always find time to search for more sources. He goes his way out in talking to people and research and read the pages of books and other relevant journals. From the word itself, resourceful, meaning to say, you do not only focus or you do not only rely on only one source. Um, hindi ka nakokontento sa isa lang na source na meron ka. You want more sources. And ang ginagawa mo, you do some research, you ask those expertise para mas marami kang alam towards a particular issue. So that has something to do with resourcefulness. Dapat hindi ka nakokontento sa isa lang na source na meron ka. Aside from that, we also have ability to observe keenly. A columnist must have an eye for a hidden God. He must have a nose for topics that may be perceived to be trivial but relevant after all. Many things around you are worth writing about, but these may just lie hidden if you are not a keen observer. That's why it is very important for you to be a keen observer. When we say keen observer, it means even the smallest details, you notice it. You give comments to it. Kumbaga, walang nakakalusot sa'yo kahit maliit na detalye. Ganun po ang keen observer. So, columnists often notice details or angles other missed. This makes their commentary fresh and insightful. Kaya dapat as a columnist, you are a keen observer. That even the smallest details, you see it and you notice it, you give comment to it. The next one po, we have clear and logical thinking. Just as a lawyer must know how to web his arguments to win his case, a columnist must know how to sew his threads or words to convince and influence public opinion through relevant and current topics. Just as a chef cooks his dishes with preciseness, a columnist must develop the skill of dashing out perfect ingredients to his topics that could steer his readers, of course. As a columnist, you must be able to interpret issues clearly and logically. So from the word itself, clear and logical, arguments po must flow naturally. You should avoid contradictions and confusions. And how are you going to do that? Paano mo maiiwasan ang pagkalito? By means of providing clear ideas. Ano po? Dapat clear reasoning. Kasi clear reasoning builds trust. Kapag malinaw ang lahat ng detalye na pinapresent mo, mas kapani-paniwala. Another, wide background. A columnist, as a columnist, you must have a wide knowledge of literature, arts, history, and human nature. Almost similar to being resourceful, you should not limit yourself. Dapat madami kang alam. A good columnist draws on history, current events, culture, and yung mga personal experiences din po. So this makes writing rich and of course, meaningful. Kaya you have to make sure na kapag magsusulat ka ng isang column article, dapat marami kang alam patungkol dito. Aside from that, we also have the ability to write good English or Filipino, whichever is the writer's medium. As a columnist, you must know the mechanics of writing and must possess a good command of your language. As I was saying, when you are writing any article naman, you have to choose what language are you going to make use. Pwedeng English, pwedeng Filipino. Pero kung ano man po ang piliin nyo, you have to make sure that you are fluent on it. Let's say pinili mo English, dapat magaling kang magsulat ng gamit ang lingwaheng ito. Same goes with Filipino. So this time, let's move to writing a column. Yan na, mismong pagsusulat na ng column. So writing a column follows a process. First, of course, you choose a topic that matters to your readers. Second, research the facts so your opinion is credible. Third, decide on your angle. What perspective will you share? And then fourth, of course, you write in a clear conversational tone. Finally, you end with an impact, leaving your readers with something to think about. So that's how you write a column article kasi. But this time, let's have this one. Isa-isahin natin. Unahin natin si pseudonym. So, column writing begins with an effective and attention-getter's name in a form of a pseudonym. A pseudonym is an alias or fake or fictitious name. In journalism, it is considered as a professional name being used by a journalist not to keep his identity or evade any legal implications of what he is writing. But it is being used to lure the readers in patronizing what he is writing. For example po, si Samuel Clemens. Si Samuel Clemens, whenever he is writing an article, hindi niya ginagamit yung real name niya na Samuel Clemens. Meron siyang mismong pen name at ang gamit niya ay Mark Twain. Sa lahat ng article, books na na-publish, na sulat niya, ang nakalagay po doon ay Mark Twain. But Samuel Clemens and Mark Twain, isang tao lang yon. Kumbaga, pen name po ang pseudonym. Another example, si Rizal. We all know that aside from si Rizal ay bayani natin, pambansang bayani, Jose Rizal is also a writer. And meron siya mga ginagamit na pen name. One of those, syempre, kilala siya sa tawag na Pepe. Ano po? So, yun po ang pseudonym. Another, column purpose. A column is written basically to inform the readers, educate or teach them. It can also persuade or incite or influence the readers to form public opinion or create a stance. At times, columnists criticize or evaluate a situation. A column may also treat its subject in a lighter rather a joyful and colorful tone, purposely to entertain. As a columnist, therefore, it is imperative to know the purpose of writing your column. So, as a writer, as a columnist, it is your obligation to know what is your purpose. Bakit mo naisulat yung iyong column article na yon? And we all know kasi, similar to an editorial, syempre, ang column also is argumentative in nature, wherein you are going to present valid arguments para makapag-persuade and makapag-convince. Pero aside from that, ang column ay ginagamit din para ma-reach out ang iyong readers, mabigyan sila ng information, ma-educate sila, at maturuan sila tungkol sa mga bagay-bagay or sa mga issue na nangyayari. Aside from that, we also have column contents. A well thought of content is a must in column writing. The basic standard is to base the contents on current issue. Even the column contents are critical in nature, tact is still a virtue for a columnist. From the word itself, column content. Content means laman. Ano po? So, dapat well thought out yung mga laman ng inyong column. Hindi pwede na basta-basta na lang nyo itong susulatin. Dapat ito talaga ay napag-isipan nyong mabuti at maigi. Lahat ng ilalaman sa inyong column dapat po ay napag-isipan ng maayos. Okay po? Next is readers' demographics. Of course, you have to take consideration of your readers as well. When we say demographic, it means the profile of your readers, which include age, race, occupation, education, and gender as well. So the success and failure of any written composition depends on how well you have reached a specific number of your readers and how well you have made them understand what you are writing. So, syempre, katulad kasi ng advertisement, ang advertisement kasi meron kayong target market or target audience. Same goes with column. Dapat alam mo at kilala mo kung sino ang iyong target reader. And that has something to do with the reader's demographics. Sabi po dyan, yung success ng iyong article masusukat sa kung gaano karami ang na-reach out ng iyong nagawa. And at the same time, kung papaano or kung gaano nila naintindihan ang gusto mong iparating. As a columnist, it is your duty to define your audience. And for you to reach them, you must use their language or language that is easier to understand. Para ma-reach out mo or maabot mo yung mga audience mo to make sure na naintindihan ka nila, dapat yung language na iyong gagamitin ay simple lang at syempre yung madali nilang maiintindihan. Next po, writing style. There's no hard and fast rule in developing a writing style. Reading constantly and making reading a habit can help you adopt or develop a style in writing. Once you have developed a style, you have to be consistent as the readers rely on the consistency of a columnist. Styles in writing vary depending on your column purpose. If you are to criticize, of course, or evaluate a certain issue, dapat seryoso ang iyong tono. Pero kung let's say ang iyong topic ay light topics lamang, pwede ka naman ditong mag-entertain, pwede kang gumamit ng humor and all. Yung writing style is depende sa'yo as a columnist. Depende rin sa purpose mo and depende rin, syempre, sa iyong susulating article. And when it comes to the writing style, para mahasa ka, kailangan mo rin na magbasa ng libro, i-expose mo ang iyong sarili sa pagbabasa, dahil by doing so, makaka-adapt ka ng particular na writing style, and once na malaman mo na kung ano mismo yung writing style mo, dapat ay maging consistent ka, kasi doon nagre-rely ang iyong reader. Aside from that, the elements of organization. In writing, the elements of organization are to be observed. So unity, coherence, and emphasis must characterize how well you logically explain or sew your threads and threads of ideas. Your insights must be in focus to only one overall theme. So maraming elements of organization. Nabanggit natin dito si unity, coherence, and emphasis. Pero lahat ng to ay may kinalaman sa pagiging related ng mga ideas sa isa't isa. When we say unity, of course, dapat may kaisahan yung iyong iprepresent. When we say coherence, dapat all of the ideas that you put there in relation to your in relation sa iyong sinusulat na article, dapat yun ay um, magkakatugma or magkakamatch. Same goes with emphasis. You should know how to put an emphasis when you are writing a column article. And then writing mechanics. Above all, a columnist must observe the technicalities and mechanics of writing, from grammar to punctuation up to the correct spellings. A columnist, therefore, must have a working knowledge in grammar rules and mechanics to communicate well with his readers. Imagine you are writing a column article and then ang daming error. Madaming maling grammar, madaming maling spelling, tapos mali-mali pa ang punctuation marks. Do you think babasahin yun ng reader mo? Papaniwalaan ka pa nila? I don't think so. Ano po? Kasi mawawalan ng credibility ang iyong gawa kapag marami ang error. So you have to make sure na when it comes to the mechanics, iyon ay fully na fulfilled mo. And then, the last one, of course, is the jargons. Itong jargons, ito po yung dapat nyong iwasan kapag nagsusulat ng column article. Jargons, as much as possible, a columnist must refrain himself from using technical jargon and stilted language in columns. So, columnists must avoid technical or complicated terms. Yung po mga technical or complicated terms na yun po ang tinatawag natin na jargons. Kasi ang jargon can make writing sound stiff or confusing to ordinary readers. So instead, anong gagamitin mo? You use simple, everyday language that everyone can understand para hindi sila maguluhan. Kasi kapag jargon, yun ay specialized vocabulary na ginagamit sa isang specific na profession. Halimbawa, medicine, law, business, or technology or education. While experts in those fields understand it, yung mga general readers, para sa kanila, it's alienating. When we say alienating, it is something unfamiliar. Mahirap maintindihan kasi nga hindi ka familiar. So ano ba yung mga halimbawa ng jargons na dapat mong iwasan? Yung mga everyday jargons. Hindi yan recommended, kagaya ng mga land and expand, hindi po yan ginagamit. Yung mga think outside the box, though it is very similar to going out of your comfort zone, hindi po yan ginagamit. Yan ay mga everyday jargons. Aside from that, meron din po tayong business jargons. Yung business jargons naman, isa pa yan. Hindi rin yan ginagamit sa pagsusulat ng column writer. Again, dapat iwasan ng jargons. And lastly, I think this one, you are very familiar with this, sample computer jargons, yung mga pinaiikling salita. For example, BTW. So, instead of saying, by the way, yan ang gamit. Yung mga lol or laugh out loud, hindi po yan ginagamit. Ang tawag po dyan ay computer jargons. So again, and that's all for today. Yun po ang cover ng ating column writing. We started from the characteristics down to column writing itself. So thank you for listening.